Welcome back everyone to another video, and here we're going to talk about Formica Fusca care. Like how long it takes from egg to worker, and like what they eat, and colony form, colony size, all that stuff. So let's begin with egg to worker. From egg to worker, actually it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So it takes like over a month. I mean, they're pretty fast growing species, but they're not the fastest growing species. And the colony form, they're pelagious, but not actually always pelagious, because sometimes they will fight each other. So I'll say I'll say they're pelagious and not pelagious. And the colony size usually it gets up to 500 to 2,000 workers with 1 to 15 queens. So in this case, they could when they get if they get to that much, they could have 1 to 15 queens. And they may grow to 5,000 workers in captivity if fed well. So this colony hopefully gets to 5,000 workers because we feed this colony like really well. We feed this colony like twice a week or something like that. And the queen size, the queen is 12 millimeters and the workers are 4 to 8 millimeters. So the queen's like bigger than the workers, but the workers are they're not so much like smaller than the queen.
And in the colony age, they live up to 25 years. And that's pretty a long time. Imagine having a colony for that. Yeah. So, and in the founding, they're fully colostral. And pleometris and adoption, they do that like in the wild. They can adopt additional queens. And the workers, they're slightly polymorphic. That means they kind of have workers like bigger than the small workers, like the minor ones. And
And for the escape barrier, like a good barrier to use for them, so they won't escape, will be olive oil and fluon, because they're both really good for them. For other ant species we use olive oil, but for this species we also, when we get bigger and we move them to from carrying with the outworld, we're gonna use olive oil. And with them, when they bite or sting, like the spray, the formic acid is not as like painful. It's like it won't do any cause to you, and the bites, it won't like hurt at all. So although the formic acid in the bites is like all harmless, it won't do anything, won't no effect to you.
And feeding in the wild, they do trophobiosis and Xufus G liquid. That means they feed from the aphids a lot. They tend aphids a lot for their sweet honeydew. And they eat also arthropods, like a variety of insects. They're not picky eaters. And for hibernation, October to March, I think depending where you are, October to March, but at 5 to 10 Celsius, you hibernate them. And all Formica species, they hibernate with no brood. And reproduction, they have nuptial flight from June to mid-September. On They swarm on humid, warm days from noon to evening.
And for the recommended humidity, so 50% to 60%, they need a moist environment to thrive. So when like if you have them in a form of canyon or something like that, the nest has to be 50 degrees to 60 degrees like moist. So as you can see, they like it pretty much moist. And for like Formica Fusca is a species, like, you could keep them, but however, founding the colony can be difficult as they often like eat their brood if they are disturbed. So like when you like catch a Formica Fusca queen, you have to like leave them for a while. Like, don't disturb them, no vibrations or none of that, because or else they'll eat their eggs, and you don't want that.
And they will eat a variety of insects. Any insects that they can easily carry back to the nest by a single worker, a single ant, or a small group of ants are best suited for Formica Fusca. Like insects such as flies and small crickets work very well for them. But then Formica Fusca aren't very picky eaters, so you can feed them a variety of insects
Yeah.
and they'll accept it.
And the sugars, they'll drink most sugary liquids. They'll drink honey. As you can see, we gave them honey, and they actually accept fruits too, and like all sorts of sweet stuff. You could even try syrup, all that stuff. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully we give you guys enough information, This is the care guide. If you guys want to have Formica Fusca, I'm pretty sure some of you guys maybe have Formica Fusca colonies, but this colony has about it's like 6 workers. They actually just got a newly hatched workers because well they don't have no brood, as you can see. Like they don't have, when it's hibernation, they don't have no brood. So we actually brood boosted the colony because we're kind of like worried because our Formica Fusca colonies are not doing so well. I mean, this colony is doing pretty well. We have another one that has like about 3 workers, and we actually have one in a dirt setup, and like we have only one queen. But sadly, we put a queen from just a queen in a dirt setup in a jar. We tried a jar setup, and then well, it didn't like work out so well because like eventually, when the queen I got at workers a few weeks later, something the colony sadly died. We don't see like the ants foraging when we feed them, but the good thing is that the queen that we put with them is still alive. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
We
We
are
are out.
out.